Students, in today's lecture, we are going to learn certain important topics about the curves, specifically about vertical curves. So, the topics which are going to be covered in today's session will be vertical curves, the concept of vertical curves, objects that why it is required, what are the requirements of vertical curves, various types of vertical curves are going to be discussed. So, let me tell you that there are total two types of vertical curves. First one is the summit curve or summit curves, and second one is about the valley curves. Let us learn why this kind of vertical curve is required. So let us learn the answer of why, what, and how. Let us go in detail. So let us learn about the vertical curve. Why the vertical curve is required? Let us learn. So let us learn the definition that due to the change in grade in the vertical alignment of the highway, there are two types of alignment of highway, horizontal alignment and vertical alignment. And when there is the change of vertical alignment of the highway, it becomes necessary to introduce the vertical curve. Why and where? It becomes necessary to introduce the vertical curve at the intersection of different grades. Why? To smoothen out the vertical profile. Now, what does it mean actually? So let me tell you that when there is a change in gradient of a road, such as let us assume that this is the road, and in this part, in this part, there is an obstruction is observed. So your road cannot be passed through this direction. So what you have to do? We have to provide the road like this. So this is how the gradient of the road will smoothen. Or the second type of case which can be observed is like this, that this is the road and the obstruction is provided over here. So you provide the road like this, or in this scenario you have to provide the road like this. So this is the change in the gradient of the road. If the change is not provided, the customers or the passengers will have to suffer discomfort, and in order to remove the discomfort, one has to provide the vertical curve like this or this. Now the vertical curve which will be provided like this will be called as summit curve, and the curve which will be provided like this, it will be called as a valley curve. So this is the basic concept of providing vertical curve, that due to the change in gradient, means when there is a change in gradient or there is an obstruction is observed, a gradient change is provided or it is compensated with the help of smoothening the vertical profile by providing the curve. This kind of change of curve is called as vertical curve. As I have told you earlier that vertical curve are of two types, summit curves and valley curves. So what are the objects of providing this curve, summit curve either of valley curve? The first object is that it is provided in order to introduce the change in grade gradually, means like this. This is the change of grade and it is provided gradually. Why it is provided? To provide safety and visibility and to provide the comfort to the passengers. So these were the objects or objectives of providing summit or valley type of vertical curves, means valley curves. Now let us learn in detail about the summit curves. The growth gradients may be observed like this. This is the road and then this is the road. This gradient is the N1 gradient, this is the N2 gradient. Now where we are talking about summit curves, there is a rule that the N2 is always less than N1. In summit curves it is a rule that N2 is always less than N1. So the N1 is always positive and N2 is always negative. Now the space which is provided over here, this is the angle. This angle is called as N, and the N is means deviation angle. So The summit curves with convexity upwards are formed in any of the cases as I have illustrated in the above, case 1 and case 2. The deviation angle, which is the n between two intersecting gradients, is equal to the algebraic differences between them. So this is how the n can be calculated. Now let us learn the technical understanding of the phenomenon. That when a fast moving vehicle travels along a summit curve, the centrifugal force will act upwards against the gravity. Means if this kind of road is there and the vehicle is traveling on this kind of path, centrifugal force will act upwards in this direction and the gravitational force will act in downward direction, and hence the part of pressure on the tires and springs of the vehicle's suspension is relieved, so there is no problem of discomfort to the passengers on summit curves. So this was the technical understanding of the phenomenon, that when a fast moving vehicle travels along the summit curve, the centrifugal force will act in the against direction or opposite direction of the gravity, and a part of pressure on the tires and spring of the vehicle suspension is relieved. So there is no problem of discomfort on the summit curves which is faced by the passengers. So this is how the technical understanding of the phenomenon can be understood. So this was all about the summit curve and its technical understanding. I hope you understood the concept of vertical curves, the objects of providing vertical curves, various types of summit curves, why they are required. I hope you will understand the concept thoroughly. Thank you so much. Now we will cover the topics of length of summit curve, that how the length of summit curve can be calculated. What are the major depending factors of summit curves? What are the categories of summit curves? And what are the types and generating equation of the summit curves? So let us learn the length of summit curve. What are the depending factors? So the length of summit curve depends upon the following factors. First of all, the most prioritized component is the side distance. Whenever we will calculate the length of summit curve, we will calculate the side distance, and as we all know that there are two type of side distances. First is the SSD, that is the stopping side distance, and second one is the OSD, that is the overtaking side distance. The another component or factor affecting is amount of gradient, and third is about the radius of vertical curve. So let us learn how they are introduced. There are total three types of summit curves. First one is the circular curve, which is like this. Second one is the transition curve, and third one is the simple parabola, which is like this. Now, out of all these three categories, which one is the most preferable? So let me tell you that in the transition curve type, there are certain negative points. What are those negative points? First of all, that it do not support any kind of fixed supporting side distance. So you cannot get the exact value of stopping side distance or overtaking side distance if you take the transition curve. So it is not preferable. The most preferable type whenever the summit curve is provided is the simple parabola. So simple parabola is the most preferable one. Let us learn how the provision of this particular summit curve is done. So first of all, let us understand the first category of side distance, which is the stopping side distance. We all have learned what is the stopping side distance and what are the various equations of stopping side distance. So let me tell you that total there are two categories, SSD and OSD, and in SSD also there are two categories. Let us take this is the road and the gradient is provided like this. The curve is provided like this. So the length from this point to this point will be called as L, and the L is the length of summit curve. Let us take that your car is moving in this direction and another obstruction is observed over here. So this is the stopping sight distance. As you can see in the figure that the stopping sight distance is comparatively less than the length of summit curve. So this is the general phenomenon, and there are total two categories. First is that where the length of summit curve, which is L, is more than SSD, just like this. And the second category is that where the L is less than SSD. So there are two cases where the length of summit curve can be computed. Let us learn about the first case, which is about the where the L is more than SSD. When the length of summit curve L is more than SSD, the general equation for length L for the parabolic curve, which is considered, is L is equal to ns square divided by, in bracket, under root capital 2h plus under root capital small 2h whole square. Let us learn about the terminologies. There, the L over here is the length of summit curve. The S is the stopping sight distance in meter. The M is the deviation angle. The capital H is taken as the height of driver above the road surface, which is standard 1.2 meter provided by Indian Road Congress. And the small h is the height of object above the road surface, which is 0.15 meter as per Indian Road Congress. So here in our case, N will be the deviation angle, S will be the SSD given, H will be 1.2 and small h will be 0.15. If you put these values and substitute the values in the equation, you will get the final equation of this first case as L equals to ns square divided by 4.4, where the S stands for stopping sight distance. So this is the first case where L is greater than SSD. Now let us learn about the second case where the length of summit curve is less than stopping sight distance. The general equation for the length of parabolic curve summit curve is given by L equals to 2s minus, this is S, 2s minus in mode under root capital 2h minus under root capital small 2h whole square divided by n. Now the abbreviations for this equation is L stands for length of summit curve, S stands for SSD in meter, N stands for deviation angle, H stands for 1.2 meter and small h stands for 0.15 meter. If you substitute the values, these values into this equation, one will get the final equation of the second case as L equals to 2s minus 4.4 by n. So this is the equation of second case. So we have learned two cases. For first case, in part of SSD, if L is more than SSD, the equation will be L is equal to ns square divided by 4.4. And second equation is L is less than SSD, then one will get L is equal to 2s minus 4.4 by n. So this was the computation about stopping sight distance. Let us understand the concept of overtaking sight distance. In OSD also two cases are to be considered for deciding the length. First is L is greater than OSD, and the equation for L is ns square divided by 2h plus under root 2h square. But over here you will have to substitute the value of capital H and small h both as 1.2 meter. This is the difference. If you substitute the value, you will get the final equation of L as ns square divided by 9.6, where the S stands for overtaking side distance in meter. So this is the first case where L is more than OSD, and the equation is L is equal to ns square by 9.6, where S stands for OSD in meter. Now let us learn about the second case where L is less than, this is second, L is less than OSD. So the direct equation for this case is L is equal to 2S minus 9.6 by N. So this is how two cases for OSD can be considered. In OSD also there are two cases, L more than OSD and L less than OSD. If less than OSD, you have to put the value as L is equal to 2S minus 9.6 by N, and if L is more than OSD, then the final equation will be ns square by 9.6. So this is how the concept of summit curve can be understood. Thank you so much for paying the attention.